Hey, welcome to my channel. My name is Irene Bisasso Hoem, and today I want to talk about planting. And I believe we are all farmers in one way or the other. I come from a place where I used to plant a lot of stuff, but here I don't have where to plant. So what I do, I get soil and I plant different things here. I want to show you. If you look at this one, this is an avocado. I got the seed from my parents in Uganda, and I ate the avocado and I planted the seed. Of course, it's not going to be an avocado and give me all that, but it's good to have. And I'm a tropical girl, so in the winter, it's good to have a little bit of green inside the house. So I'll take this one inside the house. It's very beautiful. All I did was remove this one, the seed which was inside, and put it in some water for some days and then plant it. And then I have this one here. My son said, Mommy, you are planting grass too. Yeah, you may not know what it is, but this is lemongrass. I grew up where we had lemongrass, and a lot of, we could use it for tea. It can grow and too much. So what I do here, I've had it for all the summer, almost 4 months now. I just take a little and put in my tea. It's really, really good. And when the winter comes, I may cut small pieces, put it in the freezer, and I have for the rest of the year. And there is another plant here, this one. This one, actually, I don't know what it's called in English, but it's in my mother language in Uganda, it's called mujaja. This one is also used for tea, and it's very good when you have stomach problems, when you have gassy, when you gas and smell awful. This one helps. Or if you eat things and your stomach reacts. So I grew up knowing these things. So I brought a seed and I planted it. So it's coming and I'm excited to try it. And this one, we all know it, it's aloe vera. And this one, I use it if my sons, one of them has a sore, you can actually get this big one if you want to see. And if you see inside, you see, that's a lot. So this one is really good. So I cut it, I remove this skin, and inside I get this one. I can use it for the skin treatment if I have a pimple. I'm lucky. Those who know me, I don't get so many pimples. But this one is really good for skin treatment and even to put in drinks. So this is the gel. It's really good. So this one I'm gonna take it in my fridge. So that's why I have this one, and it's a beautiful plant. This one, it's not a plant, it's just, yeah, to give me some color. And this one, I planted it. Actually, the story is also very funny. This is a potato, what we call Irish potatoes, non-sweet potatoes. But why I planted it is one day my son wanted to eat chips, and we had potatoes, so we started cutting into pieces. And then he was surprised because he didn't know that chips comes from those potatoes. You know, he's used to eat from McDonald's and such things once in a while. So when we made, and then I told him, do you know that it's planted? And so last season we planted and we got many potatoes, which were enough for the family of 4. And now we've planted this one, it's a potato. So the potatoes are under there, and what will happen is that, how will you know it's ready? These ones, they get dry and they are flowers. So actually I'm gonna put this one up. And another plant I have here, I have this one here. This one is actually thymian. It smells so good. I love them when I put them on get them some onions and tomatoes and bread and put in the oven, and then you can have it as lunch or a snack or something like that. It's very delicious. I normally plant my spices, because what I do every season, I have, last year I planted thymian and I have for the whole year. I give to some friends and family in small tins. And this one is going to be enough. We've harvested one, and this is a new one, so we're gonna have for the whole year. Next year I won't plant that one. So it's very, very important that you plant your own spices. You don't need a lot of space, and all you need, plants need water. This is my small garden because I teach my children about farming and planting. This one here, it's 4 years old actually, and I've just brought it outside because we need some sun, and we're gonna give it some water. And the stones around here, every city we go, we collect one stone and we bring it to this plant here, and they are written on it. Like this one, it's written on Hunnefossen Familiar Park. It was in 2015. It's a very nice place in Norway for children and adults. So we put different stones here. We have this one. It was from Tempe, and my son picked it. We have some from even Uganda. So we keep picking one stone at a time, and yeah, it's a family thing. And these plants here, I visited my friend who was sick, and she gave me, because she had them beautiful in the house, and she gave me. So I put them in the water for 2 weeks, and now I'm gonna plant them. I believe actually you should use what you have at home. You don't have to buy expensive pots. Use what you have. This is a very small. This one I got it from my mother. When I was young, my mother used to have tea in this, or milk tea, and she used to drink this one. It keeps water very warm, so it's very important to me. And now it can't be used because it's very old, but I have it, so I use it for different things. Now I plant in my this plant, and I'm gonna have it on the table in my living room. Next season you may find I'm using it for something else, have my spices or anything. So I just use different stuff I have, and I'm gonna give these plants water. And here I teach my children that, because myself I'm a farmer, I grew up planting coffee, potatoes, all tropical fruits. But where I stay, I live in Norway, my children don't get the chance to learn about this. So I teach them here that they need sun. If you look outside, they get sun, so they need sun. Plants, some of them are supposed to be inside, but we bring them outside to get some sun, and water and soil. In Norway we buy soil a kilo in kilos, but when it's summer, I normally go and get soil from outside myself. That's why it has some small weeds. But in the winter, I buy soil. So how do you know that now your plants need water? These ones, you see this one, it needs water. You see it's dry, but when you use your fingers, you see this one, it's still okay. But today we are going to give them water, and my sons are the ones who are going to come and give them water because it's their job. And how do you know? Don't give your plants very cold water, and don't give it very warm water. Give them the body temperature, like when it rains, how that feeling. It's not very cold, it's not very warm. So you give them water, and don't make sure they are don't over flood them with water. Too much of everything is always not very good. There is this plant here, my friend, I think it's called comfrey, something like that. This one I planted, I don't know a lot about it, but I visited a friend and her plants were really green, and she told me, that's my son in the background, she told me that this one helped. She makes food for the plants, the leaves, she put them in a tin. I tried in this tin. and they ferment, and then you pour on the plant. So I brought it to plant it so that I can use it. And at the same time, this very plant, you can actually, I read a little bit about it, when you have a joint or broken leg or something, and you can put it outside, that it helps. But I'm not so sure, I'll do more research about it. But I'm planting it here because I'm gonna ferment it to make food for my plants. My son is gonna give the plants water. So you can, we can. There's this one, actually it's now dry. This is not, this is artificial, but this one I got it from my farm in Uganda. It's in a family of a pumpkin, but when it dries, we cut out, before it dries, we remove the things, and we use it in old days. It was a form of cups. People use it to drink water and such things. They use them today. In Uganda we call it indeku, and this one I bring it for decoration, and I can use it for different things. I love using the same thing for different things, and it's a very nice thing, very traditional thing in Uganda, and even it can be used as a music instrument. They put strings and they sing words like this. So with my children, sometimes I use it to entertain them, and now I'm using it to put some plants there. Every season I plant different things. Last year I planted potatoes. I had the rosemary, and this is what is from last year's harvest. I still have 4 tins, so there's no need for me to plant. And you plant something very small like this and you get a lot. So it's positive to plant your own things if you can. And I give some to my friends, and then this time I'm planting that. And I planted beans as well. Beans, you can eat leaves when they are still very young. They are very, very healthy stuff. So you can help me. This one is getting a little bit taller than I expected, and it moves towards sun. When there is sun, that's where it's going to move toward. And now I'm thinking that I can actually help it a little bit and put this one here, so that maybe it grows up as it wants. Yeah. And soon we're gonna be eating these potatoes. They are they are Norwegian potatoes. I got them from here and I just planted them. And it's all good things. So what I would recommend, if you want to have a small garden, plant simple things, vegetables, spices that grow very fast. And you can even plant things that inspire you or bring childhood memories. In my village, my mom's place and my daddy's place, we have this avocado there. I grew up with it. So this brings memories from home. And every season I plant different things. My sons are not here, so let me give these plants water. I always give them a little bit. The leaves also to get, if it's possible. And it's always very important not to give too much. And I don't know a lot, but because when I grew up, we never used to give water to plants because there was rain and all such things. So normally I give in the evenings or in the morning, and it's not every day, but you see the need. Plants are living things. They are just like us. When it's very hot, we need a lot of water. So when it's very hot, you protect them away from the sun. Sometimes when it's very hot here, sometimes I remove them and I take them inside away from the sun because it's too much and maybe they don't have enough nutrients and water, but it depends. This is my lovely avocado. It's very delicious. I hope it puts on some avocados, and that won't happen because the one at home, it's very, very tall. And I know a lot about plants, tropical plants, because I grew up, I remember I planted my first coffee when I was 4 years old. And I know about banana and papaya and ananas and all those things, because when I grew up in my family, 95% we ate was coming from our garden. So we bought things we couldn't produce. But now I live here and it's not very easy for me to have where to plant, like I said, but that doesn't stop me. So you should be a farmer too. Have a small plant, put it inside your house, and it's beautiful. This one smells so nice. When you put it inside, the house smells great. It's just like also thymian. So I prefer planting things that I'm gonna eat. But also it's good if you can plant flowers, but I prefer planting things that are I'm gonna eat. This one, of course, it's beautiful. It brings me home. And this one, it has been inside, so we decided to bring it outside here. I hope you get inspired to plant your own things. Yeah, I can actually show you some of the things I harvested last year. I have a big tin here, and let me see what's in here. This is rosemary I talked about earlier, and as you see, it's full, so this is enough for the whole year. And I have, yeah, this is what, let me put here and have a look. This is, I don't know what it's called in English, but in Luganda it's called omujaja. And omujaja is the small plant I showed you earlier. This one is very good. I planted the seed. This one is also used in tea. It's very good and smells delicious. It's really good. It helps the stomach if you have stomach problems and such issues. This helps you. So I normally put it in tins and keep it very well. And this one, I got it from my garden in Uganda. It's cinnamon. I got on the tree and I cut off this one. I can't plant it here, but I cut off the skin. And this one, you can use it when you are cooking tea or all other stuff. It's really good. And for those of you who want to reduce weight or stomach problem, if you have fat around your stomach, it's advised to have this one with honey and drink it before you go to bed, and in the morning. It will help you to reduce that unwanted size around your stomach. I have different ones. Let me see what's in here. Yeah. This is interesting because we have a season in Norway where we have a lot of oranges, and me, I like my tea, spiced tea. So these ones, actually, they are the peelings of orange, which I dried, and I have them. They smell delicious also. I have them. You can use them even when you are cooking rice. We have what we call pilau. you can use them. So they are very, very nice, and you just have to dry them in the sun, not in direct sun, but you put them on a plate or something and put them in the sun. And by doing so, you have enough to use without using a lot of money, and it's ecological because you know what you fed your plant. So in summary, I've written here in our book how to grow your own garden on a balcony, and these are some of the things I've summarized. I talked about light, it's very important, sunlight, soil, good soils, water, and that's what the plants need basically. And what you can grow, the vegetables, spices, potatoes, small plants you like, avocado, such things. And use what you have. You don't have to buy expensive containers or pots or whatever. Use what you have. And sun drying to preserve, because here almost 6 months and more it's winter, so we have a very small period when we can plant such things. So use sun drying and preserve them well. You can have them and share with your friends. And buy soil or collect soil. I prefer collecting if it's summer, and I buy in the winters because then I don't have where to get the soil. And feed your plants. You eat what you give your plants. If you don't give them well, I showed you a plant which I learned from my friend that it's called comfrey or something like that. And that one, I put it in the water and close it, and the formation, and it makes some, it smells not very good, I have to warn you, but it's good for the plant. So thank you, and subscribe to my channel. I'm excited to share with us your tips on how to plant, to have a small garden, and I believe we are all farmers in one way or the other. Bye bye, my friend Irene. Have a lovely day.